That was Said Too Much from John Nemeth's new album called Soul Live. We've got John on the phone here. Uh, we're taping here in the afternoon, and it's a little early for most musicians, but John was gracious enough to talk to us good and early in the morning here so we could get this taped. But anyway, we were talking about your Soul Live and Blues Live discs. Tell everybody where they can get those discs at. Where's the best place to get those discs?
Well, you can get them on my website. You can also find out where my other shows are by going to www.johnnemethblues.com. You can also find them on CD Baby. You can find them on Amazon, and you can also find them at your choice independent record stores in your hometowns,
Mm-hmm.
and Rhapsody and all those other digital offerings that are out there as well.
Okay, cool. Where everybody knows where to get them. Now we talked about your vocals. Let's talk about your harmonica playing. When did that start? Did that come at the same time as your singing, or did that come later? Or and because we're getting into some blues stuff now.
Yeah, singing came first, because it's just the most, you know, obvious instrument somebody has. So started singing first, and then I picked up the harmonica. When I was in high school, we had a band going, and we needed another solo instrument in the band. So I went to go price out a keyboard because I played some piano, and man, I couldn't afford a keyboard, so the harmonica was big butt, and so I got myself a harmonica.
All right. So now, now is this now have you played harmonica in other bands, or is this just is this something that you use sort of as a to vary your so you have the vocal and you have the harmonica. You have two different timbres happening. Is that is did you have you played harmonica in other bands just as a harmonica player? Have you ever done that?
Um, I played harmonica in other bands, but it's been fairly a similar role of me singing and playing harmonica.
All right,
But I've worked with Elvin Bishop,
right from the
Junior Watson, and Anson Thunderbird, and I have. There's been tunes where I've just played harmonica in their bands. Yes, so I guess I have done that in that sort of capacity.
well, I really am a big fan of your harmonica playing as well. And I we were talking about your influences, and you sent me some tunes to check out here and to play on the show. And the first one you sent me was Junior Wells from Hoodoo Man Blues. We were talking about Buddy Guy. That was a lot of people were introduced to Buddy Guy through that particular recording. But Junior Wells, of course, the great harmonica player and singer from Chicago. And so that was an early influence on you for playing harmonica and I assume singing as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That song especially. Where I grew up, there really wasn't, blues harp players, and the style at which he plays harmonica on that song, he uses A diatonic harmonica to play in B blues, and so when you play in that style, you don't have to bend the harmonica and have to bend the notes
Mm-hmm.
in order to play, some really cool blues licks, and solos. And so since I really didn't have anybody to emulate and figure out how to play the harmonica in the beginning, I almost played blues in that particular style on the harp, where I always took a C harp to play in D, and I took an A harp to play in B,
Mm-hmm.
and a G harp to play in A. But when you do that, it forces your hand to play strictly blues scale, meaning more minor
Right.
all the time. And so then it wasn't until after a little bit that a guitar player in my band said, "Hey, we need to figure out how to get you to play, another another way on that harp. And so there was a cat in town, Mike Corbett, and he played like folk and country and that kind of stuff. And he told me where to find the bands and things like that. And then I sat down with that guitar player and sat down on the piano, and we figured out where they all were and how to do them consistently. And then I figured out how to play blues and all sorts of different keys on the harmonica.
So that Junior Wells approach, was Junior the first guy that you heard do that, to your knowledge, or was that sort of an older tradition?
He was the first guy that I heard do that. I'd heard Little Walter do it, but the way Little Walter would do it, he'd do it on a chromatic harmonica.
Okay.
So he'd use a C chromatic to play in D. And so, that was the first guy that I heard do that. And he played that way quite a bit. Junior did.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and play this, and we'll play some other tunes that you mentioned as well, and then we'll talk about those once we come back from the songs, if that's cool.
Cool.
All right. This is Junior Wells' "Snatch It Back and Hold It" from Hoodoo Man Blues from 1965 on the Burnt Toast Show.